forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
A second down throw for Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Now this defense for the Commanders, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Left side to Lamb.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Robinson will try to pick it up.
And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
These two teams met in our nation's capital earlier this season, with the Commanders picking up the win at FedEx Field. So they are gunning for the sweep here in Dallas. Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Back to throw.
He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, Robinson on the move past the 40. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 46 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Robinson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
So, CD, here we are. You look at how well this offense has played all year. 16-0. Now, in most years, they'd be at home right now enjoying time off for their perfect season, getting ready for the postseason. But this is the decade of the 2020, so that means 17 games are what's needed to get through a perfect season. Would a win here make them an all-timer for you?
It would. It absolutely would. And I realize we're now comparing apples to apples because of the length of regular seasons. But if you think back to the 1972 Dolphins, they were 14-0 in the regular season. 3 wins made them a Super Bowl champion, so they were 17-0 total. Imagine getting through 17 now and then continuing on and winning the Super Bowl. They're an all-timer team already for me.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further.
So a touchdown on their opening drive and 3 more here, and it adds to their first quarter lead.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan so far because the offense has moved the ball, defense able to do their job, and here the special teams unit comes through with their contribution. A field goal to make it 10-zip.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
They go back to Pollard on second down.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Trying to run for it with Pollard.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
We think, Brandon, the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Give to Robinson on the option.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. They'll come out in a 4-receiver look. 3 men to the right side on 2nd and 6. They'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
So another on-target throw, and that last one, Charles, going to put him up over 5,000 yards passing out for the season, and that is not an insignificant number.
Indeed it is not, because this is not a big list, and most of the guys on it, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, they either are or will be Hall of Famers.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. A nice little juke. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Robinson gets the toss on the right side.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
This drive didn't end well, but if they can keep stringing these together, they'll like what they're doing. That was an 8-play drive before it ended in a fumble. So the takeaway's got to be doing what we want to do and doing it well. Just got to take care of the ball at the end.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Prescott now on second down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott.
Completes this one to Thornton.
And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Out now is a punter, Jordan Stout.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start out here with the option left. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Robinson up the middle.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
On the give, here's Robinson.
And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long.
Robinson with another carry.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Back to throw here.
Over the middle, brought in by Dotson.
And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 26. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
A give left side to Robinson.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's got Watkins on the out route.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down bringing in an extra defensive back. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. CeeDee Lamb.
Touchdown number 18 on the year. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. In racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just get a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it's finished off by the touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to...
Now the ball comes loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he goes out right around the 39. From the 39, Prescott.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl.
And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Handoff now to Robinson.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Holding offense.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
68 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. And this one is right down Broadway, and that will extend their lead even further.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Dallas offense back out onto the field. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Prescott to throw it. He finds his target. It's Schultz. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Prescott on 3rd and 2. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted.
Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
The Washington offense set to take over. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, he's a diminutive receiver, Charles. Not a ton of size, but still able to bring that in against double coverage.
I think that's a great job by him of understanding angles, because you mentioned his size. He's not going to go over the top of someone or body someone out of the way. He's got to make sure he creates enough space for himself by getting people into the wrong spot on defense, moving them with his body, and then showing his numbers to the quarterback to be open.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
They're going to look to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Over the middle, he gets it to Gibson. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts
as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
They'll look to throw again.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides to be thrilled with that.
The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this 1st half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
He finds his man, complete. It's Schultz. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now the Cowboys going to burn the 1st of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Swinging this out for Pollard.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Commanders are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10
right at the 50-yard line.
On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
13 yards there on a Washington 1st.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw.
And he'll go right back to Lamb. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, we'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on 1st down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We begin up in Nashville, an interconference battle between the New York Giants and Tennessee. And it's the Titans with the lead in the second quarter of play. T. Higgins, a touchdown reception. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. 3 touchdown passes there for Zach Wilson. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. Elijah Moore, a touchdown reception. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position number 1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things. But winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
On the run, it's Robinson.
And this is going to be a Commander's first down as he gets it up past the 35.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run again here with Robinson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll set up to throw.
Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 2nd and 3. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he's going to have a Commander's first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Back to the ground with Robinson.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw.
Completion here to Claypool. And he'll be brought down at the 27. So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Here's 2nd and 8. Over the middle, he's got Watkins.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. They'll run with Gibson.
Yeah, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
He'll drop to throw. And the catch made by Hilton. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Robinson will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Cowboys 4-yard line.
Robinson again. But he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. They'll look to throw here. This is caught. Touchdown.
CeeDee Lamb.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up second down.
He was taken down at the 22-yard line. A gain of 2.
From the 22, Prescott.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down.
They get to him for a loss of 4. And it brings up third down on the sack.
And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's having his troubles.
They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Here's Prescott.
He'll fire this deep for Gallup.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down into those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds. Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down.
And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers, let's go ahead and pick it up. And I don't care if they know it on the other side. Here we come, and they got it done.
Encroachment, defense.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. They'll run it now with Robinson.
121 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Now back to throw. He's got it to Hilton. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside. They were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak.
But he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Back now in Arlington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And he'll take it just outside the 40. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Again, it's Robinson. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw.
Able to hit his target, Claypool.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Back to throw here.
Over the middle, brought in by Dotson.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
One thing's you're hoping for when you run drag routes. You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Second and 5. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Washington. CeeDee Lamb with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Commanders look poised to reach 17-0 as they add on to their lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CeeDee, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
This fielded right at the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and willful.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Garrett Stingley picks it, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Robinson on a give right side. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll set up a throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down when his run worked out.
It doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Micah Parsons coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to throw. Out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Will go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down. Steps away, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Commanders add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
To throw again on second down. Prescott looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. This offense so far on third down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Now comes the Cowboys punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Pulled in at the 24. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards all to return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. From a star in college to a star in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver as he brings out this offense.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade is going to happen, but good thought.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. A gain of 6 yards.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They only needed 1 yard on 3rd down. They get 10 instead by going to the air.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
They'll run here with Robinson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
At their 49-yard line.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. To throw is Prescott. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
From a star in college to a star in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb at wide receivers. He brings out this offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Robinson up the middle.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
On the give, here's Robinson.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the 1st down. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Here's Tressway now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And out now come the Cowboys.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. He finds his man complete. That's Schultz. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25.
So a victory here for the Commanders.
And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense through the shutout, Adam. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, Offer a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Washington, they make NFL history with this, their 17th win without a loss. A perfect 17-0 on the regular season. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they wanted desperately to finish above 500, but that will not happen.